Welcome to Two Guys, Three Crowns, the podcast that talks about what it's really like to live in Stockholm, Sweden. I'm Sean, and with my fellow American Rodney, we break down the good, the bad, and the just plain weird. It's quite the journey, so join us for the ride. Oh, Black Betty, ram jam. Oh, Black Betty, ram jam. Black Betty had a job, ram jam.
Yeah. I like it.
I always go to that one for like good road trip music. That and like Radar Love are like, you got two of the must-haves on the playlist.
Absolutely. There's driving music.
Absolutely.
I try to like explain for Adrian, but Adrian knows now. I mean, he's 21 years old. He knows driving music.
Yeah.
Now
it's harder here to implement that because I don't have a driver's license. Well, a Swedish driver's license.
Okay.
So it's like, is it then train and bus trip music? I mean, it doesn't feel the same, you know?
No, I mean, you got to have the... You got to be in a car, and it doesn't have to be like a nice car. I mean, driving music, I think, kind of begins as a teenager. You know, like you get
roll
music,
the windows down,
you get your
blare
license, and that's like driving music.
Classic. Love that.
But yeah, I don't know. I mean, if you're strolling around, town with Dylan, you're pushing him in the thing. I mean. It could potentially be driving music.
Yeah. I need a good playlist for that too. But I tell you what, if you want to feel like a badass walking into work, just put on like some Ennio Morricone, like the good, the bad, and the ugly, or put on the Tron 2 soundtrack and go on your commute to work. The doors open.
Right. Okay.
They're just like, oh, let's get this.
Okay. Yeah. I'm all in. I'm in.
Amazing.
Wednesday. My Wednesday. But you got to remember, my Wednesday commute is 1 hour and 20 minutes.
Oh, so you can get both flavors.
Well, I mean, I could basically film an entire Morricone movie. I could do my own Western in an hour and a half.
Now, that'd be something, a spaghetti Western on a pendeltug.
Now you got me thinking. But yeah, an hour and a half, I could pretty much listen. You know how much music you can listen to in an hour and a half?
Oh, yeah. So the reason I'm coming across this kind of existential crisis of how do I set up the playlist is because we've been doing our own little exploring of Stockholm. Now, in the middle of summer, we got the Renata's on like a semi-forced, highly encouraged vacation, right? So because
one of those.
Because the Swedish government is like subsidizing the payroll now.
Right.
For holidays are included. So all these companies are saying, please take your 3 weeks in the middle of summer right now.
Yeah.
So that's been the case in a lot of places, and we were one of those. So we've been trying to, explore around Stockholm. So last weekend, we took the train down to Saltsjöbaden.
There you go.
And no, it was really nice. It was gorgeous. Yeah. So we spent one night in the Grand Hotel, found out reading their little, you know how you get the little book in the hotel room?
Right.
With all like the useless information. Like, here's how you call the front desk. I'm like, I would just go down the stairs.
Yeah. Emergency exit plan, stuff like that.
Exactly. And apparently the whole place and the train system was built by one of the Wallenbergs because they wanted to create a Swedish equivalent of the French Riviera.
Oh.
So you get down there and it's kind of like Key West in a way because there's boats everywhere.
Right.
And the beach is about, 200 feet long. So it's just like Key West.
Yeah.
Without all the drinking.
There you go.
But yeah, it was really nice. These massive yachts. Like, there was one that had to be well over 100 foot. It was crazy. Like a small one.
Yeah.
In the marina was like a 50 foot.
Now, are you talking
huge.
like yacht or sailboat?
Well, once they get to a certain size, everything's a yacht.
Okay. I'm thinking like a motor, like one of those things.
Both. They had a lot of sailing yachts down there, but then they had like the big motor ones. They had some that looked almost like a cruise liner or a ferry or something like that. Like they were just like tanks on the water.
Yeah. And the price of gas in Sweden, I can't even afford to look at those boats.
Oh, no.
I mean,
no. Boat fuel in general, even in the States, is like exorbitant. I can only imagine here. And the problem is the maintenance on those things. You have to have like, some of them were the size where you definitely had to have a crew to maintain it year round. So.
And that's what you and I have been talking about. We need to find, that guy needs to be our friend.
I know, exactly. So whoever knows the owner of Spotify, like hook us up so we can take this boat out.
And we do have standards. It would be nice to be able to shoot some hoop, if they got a little basketball court going on.
Yeah. Call up LeBron, bring the banana boat. Let's do this.
And we got it.
Hey, I do have a connection to Dwayne Wade. Just putting it out there.
Oh, okay.
So
it's all good.
If we ever get him to make it over to Stockholm, he can rent a boat for us. Champagne wishes and caviar dreams, right?
Right.
But the funny thing about being down there is like, it's like definitely just you go there to like have your little vacation apartment or whatever. There's nothing there. There's no ICA. There's no co-op. There ain't nothing.
Nope.
So like we were going to go there so Dylan could swim in the pool in the hotel. And it was the only place in the area that we could find on last minute that had a pool in a hotel that wasn't like that expensive.
Okay.
So we get in there and we go down to the pool and they're like, well, it's part of the spa. And if you haven't booked the spa as part of your stay, you need to buy a day pass. And we're like, okay, how much is that?
Klarna.
It's like exactly. Some ridiculous price. And then they're like, yeah, but if he's under 3 years old, he can't swim in the pool. I'm like, oh, okay. That's nice. You could have listed that on your website. He's got to
be older. He's got to be older than 3, but less than 3.
Yeah, exactly. So then what we did, there's like this little kind of island, like right in the front of the hotel that has this little bridge you get out to there, and it's like a I don't even know how to describe it. That's where the little beach is. So you pay like a 70 crown entrance per person per adult, which is like nothing. And then they have like a little restaurant. They have like his bath and her bath, which has like the saunas in there. And then in his bath, there's like this massive tower that you can go jump off into the cold water. So, yeah, it was really nice.
Okay.
Really good for like if you're looking for like a quick, easy weekend getaway. Maybe you don't even have Friday or Monday off. Yeah. Because it took the train ride from Henriksdal was like 20-30 minutes.
Right.
Not bad at all. So you can
and that's Tvärbanan, right? Is that from Slussen?
That's all.
Slussen?
No, it used to be from Slussen. Now there's like a bus that connects you down, but it stops now at Henriksdalen.
Okay.
And then it takes you right down to Stockholm.
I think you're doing fantastic with that. I just want to let you know.
That's my one word. I can do that and yaw.
No, I think you're doing fantastic. Hey, but where did your adventures take you yesterday? Where's that? No,
yesterday.
Tell me about that little.
Let me tell you. So you know how hot it was yesterday.
Yes.
It was like, I don't know, officially 28 or something like that. And when it gets that hot, it feels like 10 degrees hotter. Right. Celsius.
So it was like unofficially, it was like pushing 35.
Baking. Yeah. Easily 55 Celsius. 60, 62, know. So we wanted to go back to this beach we were at the other week. It's Guslinga.
That's right.
And anyway, out by Värmdö, if I'm pronouncing that right. So last time we went, one of our friends took us in their car, which was like super VIP, very nice. And then she was telling us that, well, you can take the bus as well. It's super quick, and sometimes it's faster than a car because the cars always get traffic because the road goes down from 2 lanes to 1 lane in one point, and it always gets back up. Yeah. So we were like, okay, let's take the bus. And we had a bunch of friends that were going to meet us out there. So we go, it's like 10:30, go out to our little bus stop. We're waiting for the buses. First one, full. Second one, full. Third one, it's so full it doesn't even stop. Keeps going. And I'm just like, oh my God. And it's like half an hour has gone by at this point. Dylan hasn't slept because we left at a weird time. And everyone's getting hot and sweating. And I'm like, oh, Jesus Christ. Dude.
Yeah.
And we're like, screw it. Just jump on the next bus. that's one of the numbers that we know goes in that direction. So we jump on the bus.
Yeah.
And of course, we have to ask like 4 people, like, get out of the way. We have a stroller. We're coming in. Or it's going on top of you. Like, we were just like, I don't care at this point. We're getting in this bus.
Yeah. You were like, I'm coming in. I'm coming. I am coming. I'm just letting you guys know.
If you want to keep those toes, get out of the way.
Oh, yeah, because I'm coming.
So we headed the right direction, except that particular bus stopped 2 stops before where we were going. So it was like it didn't do the full route.
Right. Are they long stops too? Or
it was one of those that like does every single stop on the route kind of thing. It's not like an express or anything like that.
Except for the one you want to go to.
Yeah, exactly. But even before that, on the way, we're like, okay, well, we have the bus. It shouldn't take that long. Google Maps says it'll take 20 minutes. Fine. Okay. And the bus is air conditioned, thank God. So we should be all right.
Yeah.
So we go about 10 minutes, and then all of a sudden the bus goes to a crawl.
Boo.
Because the traffic was backed up that far. It took an hour to get there. It was craziness, even with the express bus lane. It was wild. Because
that sucks.
Yeah, I mean, it's like everybody had the exact same idea yesterday to go out east to go to the beach, because every bus stop we were going past, there was like 30 people all with beach bags or like little carts, and I'm like, I got the stroller. I'm priority. I'm not getting off of this thing.
Yeah.
Like, it was so bad. Like, some of the people at the bus stop were saying, we should just go back to Slusen and get the bus when it starts at Slusen.
Yeah. Yeah, trying to get on like after the and I used to run into similar problems before this whole virus mess, but you remember I used to get rides with Lena to Älvsjö.
Yes.
And a hop off there, but Älvsjö is like one of those halfway points.
Mm-hmm.
So everybody has gotten on the train before Älvsjö.
Yep.
So like standing there trying to get on is the same thing you're talking about. Like,
it's
you're
like
just
getting on a train in Tokyo or Mumbai or something like that, where they have to like squeeze you in.
Yeah. Running start. But that's why I just hop on the train. I just hop on the train in Ninas, and it's like me and 3 other guys named Lars.
Yeah.
We're like, good morning. Yeah.
Oh my God, that's amazing.
But you guys, so you made it though. I mean,
we made it. We had to get off 2 stops early.
Yeah.
And then we had to walk another 20 minutes down the street. So that was like, ugh. It was like, all right, let me jump in this icy cold water now. But then we had a similar situation coming back.
That's what I was going to say.
Thank God we got the first bus, but I was like, it's getting kind of late, and everyone's going to start coming back from the beach at the same time. We left at like 5:10, something like that, and I'm like, this is going to be a disaster. But thank God, one of our friends, the one who drove us to the beach the other week, she was still there with her car. So worst case scenario, we could have just had them leave a little bit early and then drop us off. We were like, okay, let's try the bus. Yeah. But the first one that shows up, we got there and there was still like the 5 minutes to go till the bus is there. And there's like a few people around. You're like, oh, okay, this shouldn't be a problem. And then 4 minutes and there's more people. 3 minutes. And I turn around and there's a line behind me of people. I'm like, oh my God. And then the bus comes and it says full sat on it. And I'm like, oh my God.
Right.
Which is like fully saturated with people.
Yeah.
But thank God we squeezed on.
But how is it? I mean, if the buses are that packed, I'm just thinking like socially distanced, 50 people kind of deal. I guess
the driver's socially distanced.
Okay, because I guess once the sun is out, then all bets are off.
Oh man, you should have seen the beach. It was like the limits of people were trying to be pretty good. They're trying to be like. The towels weren't 2 meters apart, but the people typically were.
Okay.
Or the groups.
They were going through the motions of...
Each little group had like a 2 meter buffer zone, so it was all right. But it was pretty tight. It was like... some of them might have been 1.5 meters, maybe a meter, maybe less. So,
yeah.
But yeah, it was good. Get out, catch a couple rays.
Yeah. Now, how is that? Because you're on like a beach area packed full of people. You got Dylan. He's playing, you're talking. How is it like talking to other parents and stuff? I mean, do you find yourself in conversations with other people or?
In Sweden?
Well, that's what I'm wondering. I mean, is that or is it just kind of like a nod and a smile? Oh, yeah.
It depends. Yeah. Some people are more friendly than others. You always have to start be like, oh, how old is yours? Da, 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 and then you can start talking and all that. But
because what I'm thinking is, if we get you some of those Apollo Creed American flag shorts, like something.
Oh, yes.
Because then people would probably
like something with Chuck Norris's face on the butt, just
on the butt. Right. Hey, nice kid.
Hey, where y'all from?
Hey. I had some good sand. Oh boy. Yeah.
Now there is something I wanted to ask you. Part of our now ongoing segment called "Say What?"
What? Okay. Yeah. Here we go.
So there's a letter in the Swedish alphabet. That's one of these that's always challenging for native English speakers. It's the O with the double dots above it.
Right.
Which is supposedly instead of Z, that is the last letter of the alphabet in Swedish.
Yes.
Now, what is that called? As a letter?
I always call it the O with the two pricks. But it's it's like you gotta like do your it kind of sounds like it looks, if you think of like two eyes and then the mouth like a
but it's called how you pronounce it, not like T, because you don't pronounce T as T, you pronounce it as T.
Right. No, it's a
Okay. Now, I ask that because in Sickla, the little mall by shopping area by where I live, there's this store that sells like stuff to take care of your animals, primarily for horses. So they've got all of like the riding helmets and like all the kind of like gear that you need. I would imagine they sell saddles in there and crops and all that kind of stuff, but it's primarily for horses and like all that kind of thing, since that is, I believe, the second most popular sport in Sweden. It's horse riding, which is crazy stat.
Yes.
But it is spelled HKS.
K. Yeah.
So you normally don't see two crazy letters, like even the A with the double dots or the A with the circle on the top of it. You don't normally see them right next to each other. So I'm like, how is it just like X?
No, yeah.
How do you pronounce
that? It should be illegal, because there are way too many O's and far too many pricks hanging out in that name. I asked Lena this morning, and there is no real pronunciation difference, just because there's, two of them next to each other. We're guessing that somebody put them together. Now, I don't know, and people are probably going to be like Wikipediaing like crazy, but we think that it was probably done, if like name-wise, somebody that just wanted it to be a little bit fancier or like more special by putting, because there's no pronunciation different. It's Höks. So even if you put two of them, it's not like all of a sudden becomes hoops, like the double O.
Yeah. That's why I was kind of like, well, what are they doing? It makes no sense.
Like it's an extra long head.
Well, just like I forget where it is, and I was trying to find it. Maybe I'll have it for next week. There's a word or a city that has like an M, and then it's like the A, that's like the OA.
Right
next to each other, and I'm like, I can't even imagine that one. That's too much. That's going overboard. But I couldn't find it.
Now you know that the Finns they have multiple vowel language. I mean, you can see stuff where it's just a bunch of vowels next to each other. It'd be like 3 O's and A.
Oh, so then it would be the opposite of Icelandic, right? Because that's just consonants everywhere. That and Welsh.
And you'd like to buy a vowel. No, but it's but the Finnish ones, those are definitely some long names. But seeing multiples next to each other like that,
yeah, and it's intimidating. You're just like, I don't even know how to approach this.
my computer's still a mess because it wants to put them, because when I put things in alphabetical order, those letters, since I have English, and then it doesn't know where to put those letters, so they're like before the A.
Oh yeah, it's special character kind of thing. Yeah.
Right. Whereas they should be on the other end of the alphabet and illegal.
Well, you just lop them off the end, just cut them off, and then.
Yeah, those things. When I first moved here, and I was looking, and my keyboard, because I hadn't my American English keyboard with me, those letters are nowhere to be found anywhere near that keyboard. So I had to like memorize, like the special key combination. Yeah, and then I would change the keyboard setting on my computer, and then this was no longer that letter. It was. Oh yeah. It was a mess.
The great thing about a Mac or your iPhone is you just hold down the vowel, and then all the options pop up. Yeah, and then you can hit 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, whatever you need.
And what feels good about that is we're not the only ones facing this problem, because then you see like letters on there going, where is this? What part of Mesopotamia is this from?
But I tell you what, it's worse if you have a Swedish computer, a Swedish keyboard, because then it's like you don't know, the control button does something different, and then you can't figure it out. So you have to change it to English. Like the computer is thinking it's an English keyboard, and then half of the stuff doesn't work all of a sudden. And you're like, I just want to push shift. Let me push shift.
Right. I can't find the horse store. I can't find the horse store. I can't get the knee. I can't get the air.
Exactly. They're like, oh, you didn't want it? Now we're taking it away. You can never have it again.
No.
Oh, God.
No. Gone. Should have used it earlier.
So I have another one for you.
Oh, okay.
For a new segment that I'm calling Lost in Translation.
Shun.
So I want to bring this up because I know we have some Swedish listeners out there that listen to us, and it helps their English vocabulary. So I recently had to teach. This person was Danish, but she's been living in Sweden for years and years. She speaks like near fluent Swedish, if not fluent. So we were talking, and I used this English saying, and she kind of gave me a blank stare like, what in the world are you talking about?
And she's like, that's the stupidest thing I've ever heard.
And it was, well, you're too far in the forest for the trees. And she was like, I have no idea what you're trying to say. What forest, what trees? And I'm like, oh, it's an idiom. It's a saying in English. It means that you're like, imagine you're so deep into a forest that you can't see any of the trees around you. You're so into the details of something that you can't see the bigger picture.
Yeah. And that, and she was like,
She's like, okay, but what does that have to do with trees?
Right. Yeah, there are a couple of because I know that you had mentioned it, and I started thinking, okay, what are some of the ones that don't make sense or don't make sense to me that are like the Swedish with the translation? And the one that always got me when I was little was cross your fingers.
Cross your fingers, yeah.
Right. Oh, man, keep your fingers crossed. Oh, yeah, cross your fingers.
And you literally put one finger over the other, and you do that for good luck.
Exactly. And in Swedish...
Or you do it when you're lying, and you cross your fingers behind your back.
Right.
That's the classic kid move.
That's the extra,
the
bonus
I wash my hands before dinner as the fingers crossed behind the back.
But in Swedish, they say that you hold your thumbs. Hålla tummarna.
Hold your thumbs.
Right. So instead of cross your fingers, you hold your thumbs.
Oh, like you put your thumb in your fist.
Well, that's what I'm assuming, because
if you're holding your thumbs at the same time,
then
that's kind of awkward.
Yeah, and you can't drive like that. But that was one that always that one kind of threw me off as I was little. Like, oh, keep your fingers crossed. Oh, hold it tummarna. I'm holding my thumbs. I'm like, well, don't hold your thumbs, cross your fingers.
Yeah, the thumbs aren't going to do anything for you.
Yeah.
You need your opposable thumb.
Right. The other one was instead of knock on wood.
Yeah.
Knock on wood, in Swedish, they say peppar, peppar.
Pepper.
Yeah, peppar, peppar. That's like okay, peppar, peppar. And
But
I don't know.
doesn't that just mean pepper?
Well, that's what I thought. And I'm going to go ahead and, I need to research that one a little bit.
Yeah, because knock on wood was supposed to be like you're knocking, like, I don't know, what is it, 1600s or 1800s or something? You're knocking the devil away when you knock on wood.
Okay.
Or you're sending demons away, sending them back by knocking
on the wood.
So then it got a connotation of for good luck. Or warding off the evil spirits when you say something like, I don't know, it's not going to snow till December. Knock on wood.
Oh, okay. I thought it might have had like some sailor thing, like checking the boat or knocking on the wood, making sure that it's.
Oh, who knows? It might. But
it's gonna
the one that I know is like warding off demons.
Okay.
To jinx what you say.
Oh, okay. I like it. Makes sense. But the pepper thing.
Pepper. That's I don't get that one at all.
And the black pepper and white pepper. That white pepper is more common in Sweden than black pepper.
What? Really?
Yeah. Because when I was making stuff, I used to try and cook things on the when I was here visiting before, and I would always ask for pepper.
Yeah.
To put pepper in.
And they would give you what looked like salt.
With the majority of stuff, it was like that really, light white pepper. Now, I mean, black pepper, of course, is just as popular, I guess, as everywhere else. But, back then I just remember that my grandmother always had like white pepper.
Yeah, I always remember my parents had white pepper in like this big spice rack we had, but, you just use black pepper.
Yeah. Which is one of the 3 spices that Adrian now has in his cupboard.
That's right. He's set up now for bachelor living, so he doesn't have just pizza box furniture anymore, right?
No, we were there on Friday, and when IKEA delivered the bed.
Nice.
So now
you didn't have to take it up any stairs, did you?
No, they actually, and he has an elevator there.
Wow.
But you remember that Friday was when the weather started kicking in.
Oh,
that's when the heat started coming. And up in Kungsängen, it was hot. It was like beaming hot.
Oof.
And those 2 poor guys that came in that big truck and, were hauling. But the one guy was happy. The other guy didn't, I don't know what languages or, he was very smiley, but yeah, they got the bed up there. And so now Adrian's apartment no longer looks like a jail cell. We rolled up the mattress and his little sleeping corner. Now he has a bed. We went yesterday and got a table. What would you call it? Like a TV hutch? No, a TV, like the lower table thing.
Yeah, like a console thing.
Yeah.
Put the TV
so we
on.
found one. Lena found one on the internet. So we drove up to Tyresö and we picked that up. Great shape.
Block it.
Yeah. Pretty. I mean, I think I can't remember. I think we we paid them 450. We swished them, and that thing new was like 1,300.
Ooh,
and
nice find.
And it looks brand new. So he is going to be trying to get that thing into his little car and transport it up later today.
Ooh,
yeah,
that'll be fun. Don't disassemble.
No.
Once you disassemble IKEA furniture like that, it's all over.
Yeah. But he also he went out and got a TV. He went and got a TV.
Of course.
Yeah, because the TV that we brought up there, I thought, you can't have this one. This is a temporary TV fix until you get your other one. Hey, he got some. I think that thing is 55 inches, 60 inches. It's like 55-inch TV.
Yeah.
That basically looks like it could eat 3 of the smaller TVs that I propose that he use as a temporary.
Well, yeah, that's kind of like ours. Ours is like something like 60-inch, 62, something massive. But I will say, don't go over that.
Right.
Because I've seen people that have like 70-inch. I had an old client that had like he custom built it into his wall because it was like 75, 80 inches or something stupid big. And he was like, never, ever get a TV this big because you have to have some crazy expensive mounting solution like this.
Right.
And then when it breaks, you're screwed because you can't access it.
Yeah.
And you can't move the thing. You can't do anything with it. It's just stuck.
Hey, we went around looking for the mounting brackets, right, for that TV.
Oh,
because he wants to swivel it so that he can have it, facing one way or swivel it. And we were at the store, and technically his TV is 55 inches.
Yeah.
But
it's all about weight.
Hey, but the brackets that they had, I think it was like 32-inch TV up to 50.
Yeah.
And he has 55, and we both looked at each other. I was like, no.
Yeah.
I was like, that thing is pushing. That would be pushing the limits.
Yeah. Well, we had one in Miami that was swivel, but we had to have it custom installed because we had to cut into the drywall because of the weight. Yeah. If we had just put it onto the drywall, it would have fallen off. So we had to have a guy cut a hole in the drywall, screw the frame into the studs, and then put the drywall back up.
Yeah. Well, I tell you what, the plan was that I was going to go ahead and mount that. And Lena and Adrian were kind of watching me as I'm trying to locate where the beams are in the wall.
Yeah.
And I'm like tapping, and I got one of those little stud finder machines. And I'm moving it on the wall, and it's not working. And I'm knocking it, and I see the look on their faces, and I'm like, yeah, we should probably find somebody else to put this up.
Well, is it sheetrock or is it concrete?
No, it's like sheetrock. But the wall is kind of weird. I would be either drilled right into some kind of electrical circuit where it would have thrown off like a 15-mile radius. Everybody's electricity would have gone off. It was daunting. And then, had it been like a $50 TV that was up on the wall and it fell off, I would have been like, oh, okay, we'll just get another $50 TV. But that thing.
Yeah.
That thing is like a car down payment, and I'm like, no, I cannot take responsibility. We would have lost a TV, and I would have lost a son.
Well, sometimes you just got to go with the TV stand and the console, man.
Hey, so that's what we did yesterday. We got that little table. I'm like, hey, that's probably a pretty good height to have the TV at anyway.
There you go. That is it for this week, everybody. As always, we are brought to you by HiramNordic.com and SeanVoiceover.com. That's HIRAM Nordic.com and SEAN Voiceover.com. Be sure to hit us up on our social media channels, Instagram, Facebook, Twitter, all the normal good stuff. And also, everyone out there, 2 Guys, 3 Crowns Army, we have some big goals and plans for this podcast, but we need your help to get there. If you would be so kind, please get into the iTunes podcast section, give us a 5-star rating, get the word out there, share it with your friends, and then catch us back here next time for more 2 Guys, 3 Crowns.